drinking.
Yeah.
Gates that keep them in. Yeah. No, I don't know. They probably eat them. I'm going right here, Olivia. These are gigantic. You can see all the propeller.
The law simply says it is illegal to harm, harass, feed, or water a manatee. That's paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 reads, and if you are caught doing such a thing, you can be fined up to $10,000. It isn't worth it. How do we get to feed our ladies? Take a look at the river. You notice there's no algae growing on the bottom. In fact, there's no greenery with any part of the surface within 2 feet of the surface. And so in order for them to be fed, they must be fed by hand. We do. We feed them approximately 200 heads every day of, well, for you ladies that go shopping for romaine lettuce, you know this is better than you could buy it anywhere. And so one of the things that you can do to help feed the manatees, and I mean it figuratively, is as you're leaving the underwater observatory, Danny will be right in front of you. Danny is our donation manatee. She's 29 years old, and she is doing very, very well here at the park. However, if there's a chink in the manatee armor, it's because of one very specific thing. Manatees have no idea how to live in the wild when they're born. And the result of that is that they must be taught by mom. And so a baby manatee will stay with its mother for 2 full years while the manatee... They're also vegetarian, so the ducks have no problem. They also get the sniffles. Now, some people chuckle when I say manatees get the sniffles. But you know what? Manatees can only breathe through their nose. You could breathe through your mouth when you notice the other manatees are going to turn. They heard that hit the water. Oh, I know. Somebody's going to say, Bob, give me a break. They don't have any ears. Well, 200,000 years ago, manatees agreed with you and their external ears fell off. But if you look very closely, about 3 inches behind the eyeball, there's a very small hole. Manatees have exceptional hearing. So Electra was living in the wild at the time when she decided there was something in a crab trap that she absolutely had to have. Oh, I need to give you an anatomy lesson of manatees. You know, they have these things sticking out in front. We call them flippers. But in reality, a flipper is more like what you'd see on a seal, you know. But Electra decided she had to have it. So she stuck her flipper into the crab trap, right up to the shoulder, and that's when the netting caught her. And then she began to twist and turn, and, well, to make a long story very short, by the time the Florida Fish and Wildlife got there to rescue her, they determined that it was hanging by a thread. And there was no way that she could exist in the wild. Bones are hard as porcelain. If you've ever dropped porcelain on the floor, it doesn't fracture into a couple pieces, but it shatters and the shards go everywhere. And that's exactly what happened. When that boat smashed into Amanda's side, Ariel's mom, it shattered 3 of her ribs and some of the shard punctured one of her lungs. So by the time Florida Fish and Wildlife got to her, she was up in the shell, barely able to breathe. So they determined they would bring her into captivity. Now, because they recognized that Ariel was only 2 to 3 weeks old and then was barely in kindergarten about learning to live in the wild, they brought Ariel into captivity as well.
Well, you look like...
I already actually put freeze it.
They have some grease to them, don't they?
Go to the train.
Did you see that right there?
Why did they put this like thing around it? Why did they put this thing around it? Daddy, why did they put this thing around it?
I think this is the way they put the spot to stop the game. Otherwise you have lettuce growing all the way around the pool.
Yeah.
No, I think they were resting.
But I think they
They live here, but I think where'd the water go?
He's like, why are you guys all staring at me? Oh, no, fish one. He's lit, isn't he?